what to do next, and other unanswerable questions. Do you know what? I've missed you. When season 1 ended, I felt a little lost. Have to be honest, felt a bit lost. So I have created a sequel, like all good shows and movies should. Series 2, Sharknado 2, The Godfather 2, Sister Act 2, and other greats have done it. So why shouldn't we? Welcome so much. Welcome for coming back. Welcome for coming back. That doesn't make any sense. Welcome back. What have you been doing in the last 2 weeks? Have you rested, relaxed, stuffed your face with cake like I have? It's been a really interesting time. It has been an interesting time since we started this, but we've seen lockdowns happen again, re-lockdowns, reopenings. But all I hope is that you're coping with this unimaginable lifestyle. We're still in uncertain times. Things are ever changing. So all we can do is be prepared, stay informed, keep your spirits up, stay strong, stay positive, stand out, and be outstanding. Yes! So I should probably introduce myself. My name is Yana Groves. I'm a TV producer of unscripted formats. Shows like Big Brother, The Bachelor, MasterChef, MKR, many, many others, The Living Room. I'm also an ex-BBC radio presenter. I'm a trainer, a mentor, and I'm also the 1997 table tennis world champion. Anyway, moving on. Why are we here? Why did we ever set up this Facebook Live? Well, it's to keep our creative juices flowing, to stay connected, to be inspired as creatives in this creative industry. It's to learn from industry experts and the finest selection of Bloomtime media mentors. We have over 40 on our books right now of spectacular people who have amazing information to impart and wonderful doors to open to all of us. So this is what I wanted to share with you. And speaking of amazing people, coming up, we'll be meeting an oracle of unscripted telly. She has every genre under her belt, a seasoned executive producer, Virginia Hodgson. We'll be talking impactful TV, the true grit of reality TV versus reality TV. We'll be talking shooting runners. Now, don't get me wrong, we'll explain that shortly. And also what it means to be a seasoned executive. So that's coming up. Now, in terms of gigs, there is some good news, which is great. We have seen jobs advertised on Facebook through the industry groups. I hope you've been keeping an eye on them. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to scratch. It's really important that if you want to enter the industry or want to be taken seriously in business, it's a great platform to connect with people looking for gigs and also to put your CV out there, put your bio out there. So I hear Warner Brothers are crewing in Melbourne for junior production managers and production assistants. Ha! This is good news. So there are lots of freelance gigs. Just apply for everything. Pivot. Again, that word. The word of the month is pivot. So what I'm seeing is a lot of producers are taking AP roles. I'm seeing people having to perhaps take roles they wouldn't consider before because, it's about putting food on the table and staying in the industry. We'll be talking to Virginia about that shortly. So, as I was saying, this could be a hot spot in the future. Australia, well, we're broadcasting from Australia, but we know that everyone in the world's watching this. So, hello, Europe. Hello, America. Hello, South America. Hello, everybody in Asia. This is a great show for all of that. Let's come together because we're all creatives. And by the way, send me a message. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching. It really helps to know that we're one community and we're all chatting together. Okay, great. So remember, upskill and be prepared. Season 1 of How to Come Out on Top was huge, massive, thousands and thousands, millions of eyes. It broke all world records for online small community Facebook lives, but it was good, and we're only going to get bigger. We actually have a celebrity guest in a few weeks. Osher Ginsburg's going to be here, so that's going to be very interesting. But today we bring the umami to the table. It's time to welcome our very special guest, the founding mother of Australian TV, maker of all things unscripted, Virginia Hodgson.
Hello. Hello, Yana.
Hello, Virginia.
Audience out there, people, TV people. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Yana.
Oh, I'm not even finished, Virginia.
Oh, because I want to play table tennis with you next time we see each other.
You know it's happening, but you know I might just whoop your butt with it because I'm good.
Sure.
Virginia, thank you so much for joining us.
It's an absolute pleasure, Yana. I think what you're doing is tremendous, and I'm always happy to talk to you and to be involved. It's a great idea.
Well, I'm absolutely elated because, okay, everybody knows I love to big people up, but I'm never wrong, and it's true. You are a founding mother of Australian TV. You've created and worked on 60 Minutes, A Current Affair, created The Footy Show, The Real Housewives of Melbourne, Big Brother, Teen Mum, The Living Room, which we've worked on together, and most recently, Emergency. So exciting. So, as a creator and a producer of these incredible shows, how have you found lockdown?
Yes, well, interestingly, I've been able to finish off 2 shows in the past year, and Teen Emergency was finished pre-COVID, and Teen Mom, we literally outran the tsunami of COVID to finish shooting, implementing really strict protocols all the time with the mums to be able to keep shooting to get the series completed for MTV. Then we went into post when it hit, and my team of post worked all in isolation, people in Melbourne, me in Sydney, talking to each other via Slack, email, iFrame, Frame.io, and using Avid, and we were able to get 8 episodes out. The thing about that, I think, Yana, though, of course, is we had shot it, and so we were able to do post. But when you talk about pivot, wow, I spun myself into a million positions in order to upskill on the run as well, to do something that we've never had to do before. But everyone stepped in, did their job, and we got it done. So it has been very interesting. I think for me, a lot of my colleagues, a lot of my friends we're between gigs. I can't say, with freelancers, unemployed, don't really say that. We're between gigs because you've always got periods of unemployment or when you're not doing something. This is a longer stretch, obviously, and people are very much affected by it. But day to day, I've been talking to a lot of people, and every person I speak to, I say, okay, it's just widening the net. We're going to keep in touch. We're going to hear what's happening. And as you say, when the jobs are there, we're going to apply. We're going to be prepared. You do have to prepare to downskill, upskill.
That's exactly
Just think about it. Put food on the table.
Put food on the table.
Every job, though, you will learn something, meet great people, make great TV, hopefully.
And I think there's something about staying in the loop.
In the loop is really important, and not to be frightened of doing that. That's why a group like this is fantastic. You talked about LinkedIn. I've found in the last couple of weeks, so many people have contacted me through LinkedIn. Even people that I've worked with, that I've lost contact with, we're all connecting again. Going, oh, yeah, that's what you've been doing. Great. We're going to keep in contact. Have a coffee, because we can. As we know, once we're working and you're thrown into the monster, the machine, the sausage factory, we got spat out at the other end. Where are our family? Where are our friends? This is a time to be able to really try and talk to your friends and other colleagues in the industry.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm finding, probably the same as you, speaking to people at a very senior level and at a junior level, that it's either working out for them, they might still be on the payroll of the production company they're working for, or they might have been dropped entirely.
Yeah, I think most people, though, I think a lot of people would not be, if they aren't on a show. We're all in that same boat, and I think that we have to, shows can be a great idea. They have to be commissioned, and a network has to like them, and that's then when we all step in. Then the jobs come. Everyone keeps saying it. They're going to need content, but production houses that I know, smaller ones, are also working at, well, how can we do this in a way we never thought we'd have to do it before, in terms of the way people watch television. And you look at the way, have you been paying attention, all these shows that were able to immediately adapt to COVID protocols. Others not so much. It's hard in a lifestyle show to have people 1.5 meters apart shooting and it look like you're part of it. But
connected.
You get used to it. Yeah, like you're connected.
Well, speaking of pivoting and upskilling, I do want to talk to you about shooting runners. Now, everybody, we're not talking about shooting runners. We're talking about shooting runners.
Yes.
So it's something that I spotted on LinkedIn today. I think somebody mentioned, it was quite heated about the fact that a company was advertising for the role of shooting runners. And I understood immediately what that meant. And there was outrage. That a production company would consider employing somebody at perhaps entry level to shoot a scene or whatever it might have been. Now, I'm not so outraged by that. I think following on from what you were saying, it occurs to me that perhaps, 10, 20 years ago, when you were choosing to become a camera operator, you would have to really know your skill, understand the equipment, to be a director, understand your photography. But if you are coming into the industry and you're 20-something, you've grown up shooting video and you know how to use your phone. You know how to use a small camera. And I think it's really important for us to take in some of that knowledge and maybe move out of our comfort zones. What do you think?
Look, I agree. 20 years ago, it was stay in your lane, and there wasn't really any opportunity to learn other skills, whereas now, the more you have, if you can shoot in the field, if you can post-produce, use Avid, write a script, and if you can and shooter producers, again, it is a skill. I mean, definitely you will get, I used two teams on Teen Mom. It's a very small production. A senior shooter producer, AP shooter producer, teaming up each in each state. They were just tremendous. It's also a different kind of look than you're going to want or expect the Channel 9 would want with Emergency. And that kind of filmic look that we were going for as well. But it was still ob-doc, running with the action. What a runner! A lot of the degrees now that people are doing, whether it be at tech or even university degrees, they have shooting courses. If you did a journalism degree 20 years ago, you didn't learn that. It was much more theoretical
and very specialised.
Even if they're a shooter runner, it doesn't mean they haven't learnt those skills through a course and have done it. I suppose it's what we all fear, is that our jobs are being demeaned or being reduced, but those young people, amongst them there could be some superstars on the rise, and we have to accept that, because that's the world. I'm good at my job, but gee, that kid's really good. The other thing that is happening, of course, is that for this time, production companies too just are trying to stay in business, I think, and make shows. So maybe there's a budget thing around that. I'm sure there is. And I still think even if they were going for those positions, I would still apply. You don't know. They're
Yeah.
putting feelers out.
I thought it was such an interesting conversation
Mm,
because
mm.
it created a lot of angst, a lot of backlash, just messages. But I found it really interesting to see that sort of anger rise. I think people are all on the edge,
Oh,
and
everyone's on the edge. Yeah.
everyone's
And it was
stressed.
interesting because I watched Jo Siddiqui, who you spoke to, a brilliant series director. I've worked, as we've all worked with her. She worked with us, came in for the living room a few times, and she was talking about runners and that. And when you say, I mean, again, and we've both worked on Big Brother, some of the brilliant people on Survivor now, 10 years on from when I did as Big Brother were runners, but they had degrees, they'd been to uni, and that was their way in, and they were always going to be good at what they did.
Yeah.
So I understand people's. We're all trying to get jobs, and I understand that, but I don't think they'd be going in. No one, if you don't have the experience of being in the field with talent, knowing how to work them, getting what you need from them, getting the right shots, getting the action, getting the cutaways, you're always going to do probably a better job than someone who's brand new.
Yeah.
I would presume that the brand new people are probably being overseen by a more senior person. So, yes, it's a tough one.
It's a sign of the times.
I don't know anything else about it, Jana.
It's a sign. It's a sign of the times.
It is.
And so you've actually just created Emergency.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that was
How
brilliant.
exciting.
Yeah.
Did you love it?
Well, what was exciting about it, I guess, is that it was created by wtf'M at the time. It was a concept that came out of paramedics. Channel 9 loved paramedics and said to them, we'd like a medical show. What was great about it when we were creating it, they said we want to combine the drama of ER and St. Elsewhere and all those wonderful romantic medical dramas in real life, in the real life ED. We didn't know if we could do that. We had no idea. But that was our plan. And then when we went into the hospital to cast, of course, you've got doctors who've been studying for 20 years, incredible people. People talk about saving lives. I mean, literally they are, and they never know what's going to come through the door. And we met with them all and chose a key, say, 12 doctors. There's about 40 in ED at Royal Melbourne, and there's about 150 nurses. And there's shifts 24/7, and they work 8-hour shifts. So we needed to work our schedule too around when the doctors who wanted to play a part, because not everyone did, they're happy to be in the background, but they didn't want to be on camera, and then go in with them. And we had some fixed cameras in the trauma rooms, and then we had AP and shooter producer crews, and then cameraman with a producer.
Isn't it amazing, Virginia, to work on a format like this?
Yeah,
because
and this we did it on the run. I mean, it's RPA was incredibly successful in Australia, and you've worked on formats in the UK. I know, Jana, which is similar. But this is kind of, I guess, RPA 2.0. It's a little bit edgier and well, it's just the way we shoot now.
Real
it's
stories,
very much embedded, and
it's the reality. It's reality. It's actually reality.
And we were literally shooting things going, oh my God, we can't, going into rooms with cameras with people with terrible injuries, but doctors being so kind and skillful and literally had 20 minutes to decide how they were going to save that limb, save that life. I mean, it was pretty awe-inspiring as well. So, and I had a brilliant team of people, and you and I have discussed it before, a really mixed team. I think we had 30 of us, and that's not counting. We had audio. Obviously, we had a gallery with audio, but I think I had about, sorry, I should know this, shouldn't I? Say we had a team of 15 producers. They ran the full gamut, and I think I'd only worked with 2 of them. So I crewed completely new people. And also I was in Melbourne. I'm a Sydney person who's lived in Melbourne. I go back and forwards. And there were a lot of shows going. MasterChef was going. I think Ninja was going. And so there were a lot of jobs going.
This is it. There's something to be said, and we've talked about it. There's something to be said for
Apply.
trying out new people. Yeah, apply. Don't feel like you're out of the loop. Just go for it, because wonderful executives like Virginia.
Well, I do like to try. I think a fresh approach is always good. If people have a good CV and a referee that will tell me that they could cope with what they've got to do, because this was quite a confronting job in many ways, then we've got them on the team.
It's so important to have, and I think what I really admire about the way you lead is that you're willing to give people an opportunity, and think outside the box, and also break the TV clique, because you never know where you'll find talent. Talent may not be people you know.
No, that's exactly right. And you can sometimes be safe and think, well, I know what I'll get from that person. But as we all work in freelance, your paths will cross unless you're tied to each other going from job to job. You're never going to be able to do that. I have one producer I was very, very keen. Well, I think, Yana, you know her, Danica. And we worked together, and it took me 5 years to get back together because she always had other jobs. But it was great, and we did, and then we worked together a bit longer. And so, yeah, great. It's really good to try new people and also to try for new jobs.
Well, you've literally been there from the beginning in terms of leading in the Australian TV landscape. You were the first female EP for Channel 9.
That's right. Yes, I was.
How was that back in the 90s?
Well, it was interesting, I think. I think, again, I say now, I think I got the job as well. I mean, I probably was there as the most likely candidate, but it was very male dominated. There hadn't been any women there as executive producers, and I was working with Ray Martin on the Midday Show, which was a huge show at the time, and he was, Mr. Gold Logie, and he's a brilliant journalist. So I did get the job, but you always felt a bit like you were on trainer wheels, and I was surrounded by by veterans, really, men in the industry. But I had quite a really great team of people, and many of them have become are executives that you would know now. And part of the people that work with me, Karen Dewey, Hilary Innes, all people that have gone on to, run shows and be network EPs and have their own brilliant businesses. But it was a very different world, though. We didn't have, I think I was given the mobile phone by the leading executive producer who went to be head of sport, and it was a brick.
Yes.
I'm handing you the brick. And no one had a mobile phone. I don't know what we even used it for. Maybe just to look, this is the executive producer, she has the brick. And we didn't even have, yes, we did, we had computers, but it was still faxes. And emails came in later. That's how long ago it was.
Well, isn't it funny? When I started in radio at the BBC,
yes,
it was I was working in news.
Yeah.
As a production assistant.
Yeah.
And I was on the early shift, and I had to take the wires, meaning physically, on the wires machine, rip off the piece of paper. Staple it to another piece of paper, record the audio, run it into the newsreader.
In the ad break, hopefully just you don't trip.
That's right. Having rode in on my donkey, of course. Well, look, I mean, it is so important for us to be able to learn from legends like yourself. And no, it's true. And I know how everyone who knows you knows how modest you are. But I think it's very important for us to really appreciate, the knowledge that you impart, and we all need to learn from people who know what they're doing and have been there and done that. Speaking of people,
I think what we were talking about too, which I'll quickly say, is that we all had our children then. So Hilary had her. I know she won't mind me telling you, had her son. And then she went on maternity leave, and then she came back, and then I had my son, and I went on maternity leave and came back. And then Karen had her child a couple of years later. So, and it was interesting. We talked about babies at the time. I mean, that you did out. It was a daily show, an hour and a half, but your hours. I probably worked from 8 till 6, and I'd read things at night. But because it wasn't 24/7 in terms of what we could read and news cycles. I think that was probably easier, but it wasn't as accepted either to be. It was still something you didn't really talk about, how hard it was. Your mother got to pick up my kid, whatever.
Your mum,
you didn't really talk about it.
And I think it's something that has always been, in my life anyway, a choice in some way.
Yes.
I think it was like either be a mum or progress in your career. And doing both might be possible if you're a superhuman, but best do one at a time. It's always felt that way.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I went back to work when my son was 10 weeks.
We're talking superhuman, yeah.
He's turned into a fine young person, even though I wonder. And then from midday, I did the footy show, and he was 2.
Wow.
And that was all Thursdays were 8 o'clock in the morning until midnight. And I always thought, how would he turn out? But look, he's fine.
He's fine. I'm sure he's exceptional. Yeah. He has you as a mother.
He's very good at looking after himself.
I'd love to meet him. I just want to talk, about, we've had some nice responses.
Oh, have you?
Yes, we have.
Oh.
Alice, who I know from MasterChef.
Real Housewives?
No, this is not. Unless you were on Real Housewives, Alice. I'm not sure. I think you were on MasterChef and you did an amazing job. She was one of the contestants on MasterChef.
Oh, right.
And now is a superstar on telly, and has written books, etc. She's saying this is fantastic viewing. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, lovely.
That's nice,
Thank
isn't it?
You.
Nicole has said, I worked with Virginia when I was a junior producer on Ray Martin's Midday Show. She
did, Nick.
She says she is a legend with a brilliant mind and a generous spirit. Agreed.
Well, Nicole's a very, very formidable producer. So
exec, post-producer, phenomenal woman.
Yeah.
So she said she learned an enormous amount from you, from your guidance via osmosis and watching you do your thing.
Watching me do my thing, and also us panicking at 5 o'clock with 2 segments to fill for the next day.
Yeah, we've all done that, and we've all lost a bit of hair over that. Yeah. So Nicholas is saying one of the best EPs going round.
Oh, who is that? Is that Nick Beanie?
Well, I don't. I'm trying to do the thing where I don't mention the surnames, but it doesn't matter. Nicholas Jean-Marie Fayard.
Okay. Oh, Nick. Yes, I know Nick.
Hello, everybody. Kim. So nice to see you. Kim, post-producer, editor extraordinaire. Editor Kim. Extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
These are all lovely people. I mean, again, I've worked with so many, Anna, as you have, and they are all very good. I guess they're very kind to say that about me, but I would say that about all of them, and that's the great thing about TV is you just meet some incredibly enthusiastic, clever people that you need to help you do what you've got to do. You can't do it on your own.
It's wonderful.
Natalie, you know that.
Natalie, thank you so much. She's saying, go V, thumbs up, clap, 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 heart.
Who was that?
Natalie Brosnan.
Oh, lovely.
So that's wonderful. So keep those comments coming. Fantastic. It's so nice, isn't it, to know that the community is coming together and that we've got each other back.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So look, just to wrap up, what would you say is the best advice you can give people who are now entering the industry? What should they be doing right now?
They should be applying for everything. You and I talked about CVs. I'm happy to get CVs. I don't actually have a permanent position, but I'm always on the lookout and I hear and I'm happy to send them on. I think take a job and
Oh, Virginia, we've lost your audio. Are you there?
Sorry.
Oh, she's back. She's back.
Just take a job. And I have done that all through my career. I haven't always, I've gone sideways. I've gone down that way. I've gone across that way. And learnt skills all the time and thought, oh, I didn't do reality. I'm going to do, let's see if, they'll have me, I'll do it. Don't stay in your lane, I would say.
I love that. I love that, Virginia. Don't stay in your lane.
Just be brave about it, and suck up everything you can to learn, and just be I think as well, just come to work at really positive people, do what you can do. Don't whinge if you can.
Oh, we don't like whingers. We're not good at whingers, are we?
Good at that. It's just like, oh, okay, right. Let's do our job.
Let's do it.
And as I said, look, I think this will end. I'm no Nostradamus, but it will, and there will be shows that will need to be made. But we may get paid less. We may have to change our roles, but it will again build up.
I agree.
We know. Yeah.
So I mean,
I like talking to you all. I hope I've been helpful. I feel like I've just rabbited on about nothing, but no, your questions were incredible.
Well, I can't thank you enough. And also, this is really special that you're opening your doors to people to send their CVs. That's a very, very kind, generous thing.
You've got my email, haven't you?
Well, I'm about to announce it.
Okay, great.
vhodgson at wtf'M.com.au. vhodgson at wtfn.com.au. We'll put it on the Facebook thing. You can see all the information. Virginia.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. And Jana is a superstar, which you all know. So keep supporting her because she's a great girl.
Thank you so much, Virginia. Wow. I mean, look, blushing a little bit. Just a little bit of blushing.
You are.
Thank you, Virginia. Good luck with the next shows coming up. Teen Mom's about to come out. My God, it's all happening.
It is. It's all happening. Just need to make some more shows.
Yes, and we will. And we'll work together again soon.
We'll work together. Okay, good on you, Jana. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the terrific, the exemplary Virginia Hodgson. What a lady. Oh, my gosh. Aren't we lucky? Oh, my gosh, we're so lucky. When you speak to, royalty, I'm sorry, I have to say it. It's TV royalty, right? It's just such an honor to hear those little tidbits and know that we're supported, and also to know that the EPs are listening and watching and ready for your CVs. vhodgson at wtfn.com.au. Send your CV in. Don't stay in your lane. Ha ha! I love it. Okay, so look, we've got some exciting stuff coming up. Bloomtime Media, right? You've been asking for courses. We've been delivering courses. We did a fantastic 2-day TV producer course. It was an intensive course. We've got hilarious photos holding bananas. Check Facebook out. We've been holding bananas. Don't ask. Anyway, that was amazing. What we've got coming up is the online TV producer upskill course, which is interview skills, story development, and casting. So it's just a little bit of a taster, just to get those cogs oiled up again. So yes, how to conduct the perfect interview, the keys to casting, and story development. So that's happening on the 23rd and 24th of July. That's next Thursday and Friday, from 2 to 4 each day. So it's just 2 hours out of your day. I'm sure you could do it. I'm sure you can. Sure, you put the cake down. Put the cake down and get online. You don't even need to leave the house. Okay, so we'll have details on the site. And then also we have on July 31st, shooter producer course with the fabulous DOP, Andre Evis. Now, if you've worked with him, you'll know he's a gun. It's a 1-day intensive course, 9 to 5, very simple, here in Sydney. Technical camera knowledge, essential producer skills, and it's all about pivoting. Do you notice now I'm physically pivoting? That's what we call pivoting, okay? You're going to be doing that. If you're a producer and you need to be a shooter producer, this is what people are looking for now. So make sure that you are skilled to get that next gig, okay? Next week, we have a very special guest. who is yet to be announced. So you'll have to watch this space. Don't forget the following week, Osher Ginsburg tells us all about what it's like to make love. He's a presenter, a very famous one. If you have any questions, send me a message. Get in touch. bloomtimemedia.com, info@bloomtime. I always do it the wrong way. info@bloomtimemedia.com. You can send an email. You can contact me via LinkedIn, send me a message. Also, we have a YouTube channel which now has 5. Oh yeah, 5. We're working on it. Don't worry about that. Okay, so a big thank you to Virginia Hodgson for Real Talk. Tara Johnson, the Bloomtime Media production assistant, who's been phenomenal. And all our supporters and all of you out there, wherever you may be, Australia or anywhere else, it's so nice to know that you're here. I hope I've put a little bit of a bubble into your day. Keep that bubble bubbling until next week, Wednesday, 4 o'clock, Australia time, the Sydney time. Don't go changing. Love you.